Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 329. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Marc Augustiniak.
What's up?
Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games, brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Is it time to change that intro? How many episodes can we use it?
Always.
We're on 329. We can always change it up.
Sorry, I'm enamored by these articles.
Get out of Zergnet. Close Zergnet.
You've seen Baby Yoda now. Get ready for Baby Jabba.
Oh my god.
Baby Jabba.
No.
No. That triggered for two reasons.
Hiss.
You're welcome.
Damn it. Fuck. You just fucked me up. You just fucked him up. You just fucked the listeners up.
Funny enough, this morning we were talking about Baby Shark and Baby Yoda and using like Baby Yoda in that.
Well, see,
shark.
my job was to kill it.
To piss us off.
Well, just so it just never comes back.
No, you see, once something pisses one of us off, though, it lingers.
No. We can't. No, this can't be the new fucking soup war. This can't be any of that shit. I'm not getting a goddamn Pickle Rick, Baby Yoda wrapped in a biscuit. By the way, did anybody get my Baby Yoda thing? And I drew Baby Yoda with a target on it.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, okay, I got
right.
that.
Yeah, cool. A little TKO action.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, never saw it.
That's what we do on thefreecheese.com. We got a show today. We got some video games we've been playing in the last week to talk about. We got a couple of hot topics. That's right, brought to you right from your local mall. But first, there's a shit ton of news stories. So I'm going to dive right into news, old school style.
News!
What do you think of that, huh?
Man.
Remember, we used to do that.
You usually have to warm up my voice here a little bit to say news, but...
I know. Top of the show, we started with news, and we're going to do that this week on the Free Cheese.
This was well before...
I don't know. You might have been... I can't remember. I don't even know. Maybe we didn't do the news at the start. I don't remember, man. Time's fucked up.
Doing it now.
No one else is fucked up. Super Mario Maker 2. Got an update this week. I played a little bit of it. Tried it out.
I wanted to.
So, Super Mario Maker 2 got an update. The big thing that all the kids are talking about, Matt, is the fact that now you can play as, let me check my notes here, Link from The Legend of Zelda. And, they put the Master Sword in the game. When you pick up the Master Sword, it transforms Mario or Luigi into Link. And not only, if you recall, Super Mario Maker 1 on the Wii U, best platform, they had the amiibo costumes. You could swap to different characters, but there was no real gameplay change. It was just like, okay, now you're Link and you're running. But this actually adds gameplay elements. Like you can use Link's sword to attack in front of you, or down, or not up.
Yeah, the Pegasus boots as well. You can charge.
Oh, with Link in this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, I did not do that. Interesting. They also added some new enemies. We have, new items. There's a dash block. So this is only available in the Super Mario 3D World style, but it just, as you step on it, it'll propel you forward. There's a frozen coin, so it's coins inside of a block of ice that can only be released if you melt it with fireballs or use other fire in the stage. A P block, like invisible blocks that turn visible when you hit a P switch.
That's new.
That one's, the blocks themselves are new. They previously had P coins and something else that I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
But these are new. They added Spike, which I thought was already in the game, but maybe I was thinking of Mario Tennis Aces or something. And then maybe. Pokey, the big stacked cactus, which that one I definitely thought was in the game, and it's not.
Spike is in Mario Tennis Aces. He wasn't added character after the fact, too.
Another cool feature with the whole Link thing, the music changes.
Yes.
So even depending on the background setting, like as soon as you switch to it, like if you're underground, it does the dungeon music. If you do the Bowser level, it does the Ganon music. And
then fucking Marc style, did you see what happens when you play multiplayer?
Oh, yeah.
All 4 different color Links, full on 4 sword style?
Yeah, 4, not 3.
Look at that. Someone can count to 7. What was the last thing in this? It was kind of neat. The Ninja Speedrun event. It's a set course created by Nintendo, challenge course. And then as you speed run, you will see other people's drivatars show up in the form of little ninja icons. Cool. Yeah, it also reminds me of that. I don't know if you guys saw that thing a couple months ago. It was like a browser-based Mario Battle Royale.
Yes, I've seen this.
It reminds me of that a little bit, except obviously, in...
It reminded me of Super Meat Boy when you watch all your replays at once.
Yeah, and just all the fucking splats everywhere. But yeah, it's 100 Marios on the screen. Well, 99 ninjas on the screen or something.
GameCube could do 128 Mario. What the hell, Switch?
They screwed it up.
Yeah.
So that is out now. Free update. I would like that game to keep getting free updates. Super Mario Maker 1 got good ones. This is the first kind of substantial one that we got for this game since its release, outside of like them patching the multiplayer stuff. But man, keep going, dude. Throw Samus in here. Throw Kirby in here. Get weird with this shit.
Yeah, it seems they're really taking their time with it now. Making them more than just a cosmetic.
Which I'm cool with.
Man, Kirby will really break a lot of things, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I kind of want them to, right? Like, push it a little bit further. It could be interesting. Because already Link changes how you play a lot, but...
They're testing the Watchfed Zelda Maker.
Yeah, that's true. Humble Bundle. If you're listening to this now, sorry, it's too late. But if you were already a Humble subscriber, congratulations, you are now a new Classic subscriber. Humble is changing its... Oh, cool. They got rid of that thing that I bookmarked. They updated their site because now it's live. Anyways, they've got multiple plans now. They've got Humble Light, Humble Basic, and Humble Premium. Now, if you were previously a Humble monthly subscriber, you are locked into the Premium tier plus an extra game and for the price you had been paying. Right now, Premium, it's $20 a month, $19.99 per month. Or $179.99 per year. You get 9 games a month that you can choose from my understanding. You get access to the Humble Trove, which I think is like all of the Humble published things. Or no, that's not right. What is the Humble Trove, Matt?
That's a great question I don't know the answer to.
The Humble Trove is a library of DRM-free games with new titles. It's basically like a Game Pass style thing. It's you're subscribing to that service and you just get access to that. I've looked through it. Some of those games are kind of neat. I remember looking at that a while back thinking, like, should I do them? And then you get a 20% discount in the Humble store. And then, of course, you get the published originals and betas from Humble's publishing wing. The basic tier gets you that, but it's only 3 titles a month. 3 curated games to keep. And that's $14.99 a month. The light version does not get you the curated games, does not allow you to choose the games. You just get access to some of the published originals and then the Trove and a 10% Humble Store discount. Anyway, so they just changed it up. It seems like subscription services are not going anywhere, so welcome to the future, folks. Y'all keep buying them. They'll keep making them. That's the way it works.
I like Humble, though.
I'm not upset. I'm just,
I like Humble once in a while, but yeah, I'm not subscribed.
I was subscribing to it for like 6 months a couple years back and forgot about it. And then I looked and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with Arc? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything with that. Matter of fact, I just went through my Steam library and hid all of the ones that I'm like, I don't fucking care about this.
Yeah.
But it's a good value, right? I mean, this month that they just rolled this stuff out, you got Soul Calibur 6 and Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah, and then I think they're already showing next month's games. Or what is? All right, hold on. Now I got because I logged in on my computer now. It says choose your games, and I got Blasphemous here.
Interesting. Oh, that might have been like the full unlock for this month. Because remember, Soul Calibur and Yakuza were just the initial slate of things coming out. Maybe Blasphemous is included in there. So you got Blasphemous for free? Well, not for free. But
I don't know. I don't know. That's not confusing. Well, whatever. We can move on.
Is the Sonic sale still happening?
Who cares?
Actually, we should find that out for the folks. People are going to want to know, Matt. People are going to want to know.
As this goes live, it would be 8 days left.
Get out there and get. If you haven't done this,
kayfabe there.
Yeah.
Gotta
Matt,
go fast.
all right, never mind. I found Matt's Christmas present.
No.
This is great. For just $10, you also get Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces.
Sonic Forces. Oh my god! Can't wait to play that garbage.
We still got to do it, Mark.
People have been modding those games now because of they got some 3D model of the movie Sonic.
Oh, geez.
So they've been putting him into like all these different games.
Persona 5 Royal takes your heart on March 31st, 2020. There you go.
All right.
Great.
This came out end of October in Japan, and we finally got a date for the Western release. Persona 5 Royal is the same game, but with some new content and then a new character. There's also the Phantom Thieves edition, which is fucking cool. I don't know where I'm at. I gotta see. I'm playing Persona 5 right now, but
You have to be careful because that save might have to
you
restart.
do have to start from the beginning with this fully. Like it's not like just DLC for the game. But you get a Joker mask, you get, with a stand, I should add, a steelbook, soundtrack, collector's box, art book, and dynamic PS4 theme. It looks cool, though, $90, but the game itself, of course, $60. And they have, like, way too many fucking bundles and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm a little bit of the way into Persona 5, not to jump into now playing, but I'm barely in that game. But just the little bit that I have played, it's like, it oozes style. Which is a fucking GamePro headline for you. But it just, like, every attack you do, with the level up screen is the best level up screen in the history of video games, probably.
Isn't that what, in Smash, isn't that what they're mimicking?
I think, yeah, yep.
He's just constantly running.
Come on.
We have a dog here coming up to join us.
Oh, he's going to sit down there and cry for an hour. Hey, buddy. All right. Speaking of subscription services, PlayStation Now gets a big one. Yep, there he is. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds joins the lineup with Wolfenstein the Old Blood and Formula 1 2019. Of course, these are joining the likes of Greg Hastings' Paintball 2, whatever that horse racing game is we played. Yeah.
There's some bangers on there.
There are some bangers. I've got a little thing. I got to finish writing it, but I wrote a little thing. I've got some thoughts about PlayStation Now. I really like PlayStation Now,
Dude,
and I kind of have to.
Paintball, man, that's more than enough for me.
Have to because I forgot to cancel the subscription after the trial ended. So I gotta like it for at least a month. But no, honestly, like you guys tried it out, and I was surprised at how. I guess I wasn't surprised because I knew I had tried it years ago when it first launched. But I was surprised that it's still like you jump right into a game, play. It's a little bit of a startup, but once it goes, like no input lag, nothing weird like that. Even on, we know that my PS4 in the basement down here is like not historically the best connectivity, but it worked. I'd be curious to see how PUBG plays over it, something like that. In those final moments, but. Pretty cool.
Yeah, when we were playing it down here, I did dabble with my benchmark game, Rocket League.
Yeah.
There's
the tiniest bit.
The tiniest bit in a game like Rocket League, it would matter, but...
And the cool thing, too...
Bloodborne a little bit.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, you fucking ghosted that werewolf, so... The one thing that a lot of the PS4 games you can just download, so there's that too. You can just kind of treat it like a Game Pass style thing. Buddy, this is not going to work out. I don't. All right, you sit there. But yeah, PlayStation Now. And now with a couple more options for you. As the Firewatch team loses its options on making original... I don't know, but that's a bad segue. Firewatch team, of course, joined Valve a little while ago, Campo Santo, and is now working on other Valve projects and has put In the Valley of the Gods on hold for the time being. Yeah. Game was supposed to come out this year, or at least it was advertised as such in its first trailer. But no.
I wonder if it's on hold just so that way they can come and support the VR team for that release.
It is. This had popped up a little while ago, like when right around the time Half-Life Alyx got announced. People noticed that the Firewatch team on Twitter had removed In the Valley of the Gods from their bios. So I think people started asking. And yeah, so they are. I got a quote here, or a statement. To fans looking forward to In the Valley of the Gods, it's probably clear that the optimistic 2019 at the end of the announcement trailer isn't going to be accurate. In the end, Valve time makes fools of us all. But yes, developers from the former Campo Santo team have joined other projects at Valve, including Half-Life Alyx. Later on, they mentioned Dota Underlords by name, and that is it. No mention of Valve's Artifact, which I reinstalled the other day. Didn't play it yet, but I reinstalled it.
I mean, mine's been installed. I've been there.
You've been playing all the time?
Not playing, but if we're going to talk about being installed, I guess I win that race there. It's been installed since day one.
I had it for a while. We've got a couple of Project Scarlet stories here. Actually, I think I'm gonna hold on those for a second.
We're gonna hold on those.
Hold on those for just a second.
Sleeping.
Yeah, that's what he does. I don't know how that's comfortable to sleep like that, Oswald, but Riot Games working with third-party developers on new League of Legends games. This is weird to me, but I think it's cool that the studio grew that big and the IP is that,
Well, when you're in Japan...
Yes, I've been there.
Me and Marc were talking about this in the news, and remember how many freaking projects they had all at one time, because you had... They're going to continue work on their Underlords, their auto chess. That's the word I'm looking for. They're going to make that weird esports manager game, which is like the most intriguing thing I think I've ever seen.
The fighting game.
Fighting game.
Yeah, the arena shooter, first-person shooter thing they're doing.
Yeah.
Probably like their Overwatch. There is just so much, and I don't know if Riot has the manpower to make all those internally. So I'm not shocked here. I'm just curious to see which ones.
Yeah, it's weird.
And like how fast will all these come out? Like,
right.
It'll be like one a year, a couple in a year, or every 2 years.
They said that multiple projects are already underway, so scaling up quite a bit. I think that is... We got a State of Play coming Tuesday, December 10th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Which is cool, because usually they're at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm like fighting traffic and fuck you. So this works out.
Even cooler is that any leaks that have happened recently, they're more related to that than Game Awards.
Should we do that one or leave that one for people to discover at the State of Play? I'm gonna leave that one for
leave
that.
it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
real easy to look for,
and if you know by now, and you should know. It's
if you go to any reputable game site, you'll see, you know what we're talking about.
But I don't want to be the bad guy. You know what I mean? We'll let someone else do that for you. But you'll probably find that out on Tuesday at the State of Play.
Yes.
There's a report that a cheaper discless Scarlet is still in the works. This was a rumor some time ago. We had Project Scarlet, and then the kind of lower cost discless version, Project Lockhart. Still in development, according to sources familiar with Microsoft's plans, and the console will be part of a family of devices that also includes Scarlet. Now,
which one was Anaconda?
That was... I think Anaconda was the name for the Next Generation Initiative, and then that is splintered into Scarlet and Lockhart.
Got it.
We also got a hot tweet. I'm going to read this verbatim. At Xbox P3, or you may know him as Spencer Phil, Quote, and it's started. This week, I brought my Project Scarlet console home, and it's become my primary console. Playing my games, connecting to the community, and yes, using my Elite Series 2 controller, having a blast. Great work by the team. 2020 is going to be an incredible year.
I'm just glad Phil makes enough money to buy that Elite controller, too.
I know, man. Because, fuck. I thought about it. I was like, no, I'm not spending that much money on this fucking controller. Like, I fucking want to vomit whenever I have to buy a fucking PS4 controller on sale for $40, let alone more than triple that. So, what do you take that as? Phil Spencer playing, it's his primary console.
He's playing Xbox One games on a Scarlet.
But I think that is completely suggestive of where we're going with this next generation, where it doesn't fucking matter. Right? Like, which is cool. It's exactly what I just... My only concern with this was that they were going to have, and by they I mean the console manufacturers, Xbox and PlayStation, have a difficult time convincing third parties to stop doing what they've been doing, which is this whole generation of remasters and re-releases. Because we got that all generation long, and it was a big source of, a big bump to finances, I think, right? Like the investment cost versus the recoupment cost, probably pretty, in some cases, like a GTA 5, probably pretty damn healthy. In other cases, like a Shadow of the Colossus, who knows? But I'd assume it's probably pretty good. But, I was concerned that would be the thing that held it up. It's just bureaucratic bullshit. But it seems like maybe that's the thing that's going away, which is cool, which means your whole Xbox One library and potentially your whole PS4 library ready to go day one. Just that inherent backwards compatibility without the need for physical. I mean, yeah, I guess physical backwards compatibility would have to be a thing, but I don't know. I love the idea of one single library, one thing that just keeps evolving. The PC idea, right? Like, you've had your Steam library, you've had your Humble library, all that shit integrated for a decade now or more.
And you have 15 billion launchers that GOG 2.0 will fix. But. Right.
Hopefully we can get a Bethesda launcher on Xbox Project Scarlet, but I don't know, man. This is exciting, and within a year, these consoles should be out more than likely, which is even crazier.
But even sooner, we
should know
what they'll look like or what their actual names are. Yeah. I mean, we know Sony's.
Yeah.
It's never a surprise.
Easy and clean, man.
And almost, man. PS4, remember that?
Yeah, because
we thought it was going to be Orbis.
Yeah, because is the 4 unlucky or something in Japan?
Yeah.
Number of death.
Yeah, death of the Xbox.
Oh, shit. I think that might be all of our news stories for the week. It was a quick little hit there, but not a bad week. Not a bad week at all. You guys want to roll into a topic?
Tots.
There you go. Our first topic for the week, before we get to now playing or anything, is when creators lose their creations to a company. This topic is inspired by Marc's recent viewing of the show The Toys That Made Us. That served as a reminder of how popularity and acquisition of intellectual property can quickly lead to separation from its owner. I think the episode you cited was the Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah, because, I mean, that all started with just quick little history lesson. That was just all started by just, two dudes who liked making comics together, and it was all based on a joke of making a turtle who's usually known for being slow, being as fast as a ninja.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, cool. And then they made their first issue that they treated like it was their last issue. So that's why Shredder dies immediately in that one.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it became this big successful hit, and here we are now. And pretty much they sold that property. So now it's been through so much, but I think now Nickelodeon is the current owner.
Right. I guess Viacom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and between those two creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they kind of had a little, they didn't see eye to eye during that journey. And then I think Eastman sold his share first. And Laird wanted to hold on to his for as long as he could. And then eventually he caved in. But that's pretty much what kind of drove them apart. But in watching that episode, it was like, it felt weird because, as the topic states, it's like, I loved it because it was something that, like, two friends made, and I liked when they get to own that and watch kind of like their son grow. And even Peter Laird was saying on there that it was kind of like giving up their kids for adoption. I was like, ugh, what?
Hurts.
Like, I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, it hurts
at that point, but I don't know. I saw like all that merch still in my room, whatever.
Yeah, and that's like, it's a weird thing. Like, so many.
Even more so, I guess, because they're still alive,
right? Like something like
Superman
Superman or whatever is kind of removed from that emotion because,
like, imagine if Sony bought Mario.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
Like, how would Shigeru feel?
Right. Yeah. And even still, like, I'm sure that, like, for Miyamoto, it's his thing, but it's also something he made at Nintendo, and he is Nintendo, right? Like, they're kind of synonymous, but like,
and then like seeing it go in a direction that you never intended it to.
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe you did for a little bit, because I mean, obviously, I guess for Ninja Turtle case, like, they wanted to make stuff, and also to make money, right? Like, but they wanted to do something that they loved at the same time. I guess it's hard to balance that because one will outweigh the other, depending on whatever.
Well,
but
I think
like,
that's the thing too. Is like when it gets big enough, it's not yours anymore. Like there's that whole Imagination Land episode of South Park, with the idea that like, the just about like the characters being more real than real people sometimes, and how they just become like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. They're like allegorical at some point. You know what I mean? Or like I don't know. They just become.
There's just so many variations of that idea.
Yeah, and it can like transcend a single person's original intent or whatever, which gets weird and whatever, but it all feeds into that collective human experience and everything. So, what are some examples you can think of in video games where a creator has lost their creations to a company? I think some of the obvious ones that come to mind are like a Mario or.
Well, Crash isn't Naughty Dog anymore, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Sony's, it was Universal. It was always Universal, and then when Universal was bought up by Activision, at least the game company, and it became Activision's.
But
and
even that,
got a
like,
series of bad games.
At the same time, like Naughty Dog isn't that Naughty Dog anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like Halo.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah. I think there's a good number of people who left Bungie and went to 343 when that all started, but
even 343 now probably isn't that same group.
No.
I mean, you look at the games, you can see they're different too. Like, you can see the difference.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I think the obvious one, Hideo Kojima. So the actual property's still with the company, but the creator was kind of booted out of the company. That's a little bit of a weird thing, but Metal Gear has never been like, oh, it's Konami's game. It's always been Hideo Kojima's game.
Plus the engine.
Yeah. Poor engine that they shuttlecock into Metal Gear Survive just to milk a cow.
Hey, it's also being used for Pro Evolution Soccer.
See, because, I mean,
that game is in trouble. That game is losing all their licenses to FIFA, unfortunately.
And yeah, it's like, and it's like, Kojima's is so that's probably the best example out of anything, because it's like having to like always see that, or like have it in the back of your mind of like, you had this vision for Metal Gear, you had this whole world around it, you had this whole idea and this specific way of presenting it, having everybody taking that in, and then at the same time, you're like forced to move on to other things, like a bad breakup or something, and then you see Metal Gear Survive just kind of in your periph, and it's like, this is not
waiting.
This should not have happened.
Wearing the fucking Hangman's hood.
Yeah, like what world are you in?
Not Hangman, Executioner's hood. There it is.
What 5 could have been? All they had to do was just bring. What was the prequel thing they did for 5? What was the name of it?
Phantom Pain. No,
that's the name of 5.
Ground Zeroes.
Yeah,
I said Ground Zeroes, and as it was coming out, I was like, you're going to sound like an idiot when you say this. That's not the right thing. And I was like, nope, that's totally the right thing. That's not. I know, because it's Ground Zero is the correct, right?
Yeah, it's the catalyst for the events of Metal Gear Solid 5.
No, I'm saying the name is stupid. Not me is stupid.
Well, I mean.
I know.
Look at all the other No, your solid subtitles, Guns of the Patriots.
I think, honestly, there's a lot of big franchises that are maybe lost their way a little bit. Not to pick on Konami, but a Castlevania, something like a Mega Man. What else is still kind of like big or prominent? And the thing with that is that it's not, they were never assigned to a single person the way that, like, I think, because back then Japanese companies had a fear of losing its talent to being poached. So that was why when you beat Castlevania 1, all the names are fucking fake, what do you call them? Parodies of like old Universal monsters or actors, and they didn't put the actual names in. Like, I think, I don't know. At this point, I don't think we still know who created the original Castlevania. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, it's odd because, excuse me. Because, like, I guess from like a player standpoint, if you're not looking for it, you're not thinking about it, therefore you're not worried about it. You're just taking the game as is, and you're just enjoying it. But if you do deeper research and you kind of want to find out the creative process behind it, of like who made it, who, like, you kind of see part of them now into that game. You start to see that element a little bit more, and so you kind of get attached to that creator. And it's like you don't want anybody else handling this game because you like their vision, you like the way it feels more authentic when it came from them, and they're still on board with it, and anybody else can't replicate that.
Yeah,
and so therefore you might think it might not be any, like, nothing can go above the original intent in a way.
Well, can you think of an example where it has? Just to play devil's advocate, because we've seen where it's gone wrong, other M. But, like, is there a time where you've been like, "Whoa!" Like
they're totally I think there has been. I don't know if I can think off the top of my head, but I know that has existed. Like, does PT count? Because I don't think Team Silent had anything to do with that. Because they got disbanded.
It kind of counts in a way, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just the most recent.
I wouldn't say better, but it definitely changed the approach of it. But like Fallout 3, when that first came out, like, you know, new company,
whole different style.
It's different style. I would, you know, Fallout 1 and 2 players are still gonna love Fallout 1 and 2, but it drastically changed the way that game played, and I think that was a very good example.
Yeah, because that.
Before Fallout 76 was a thing.
And that birthed, like, right? But that gave way to a whole other, like, genre of video games.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
was the catalyst to what led to, you know, the most ported game in the world, Skyrim.
Sadly, yes. Oh, gosh. There's, I know there's countless examples of this now on the spot. I can't think of it at all.
Same franchise, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Like, within, like, it like, fucking leapfrogged itself and doubled down on it. I'm
drawing blanks.
I know, me too. It's hard. I'm trying to think through, like...
I'm sorry, 5 hours from now, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, exactly, just check back in with us in 5 hours.
I guess it's not often that we see licenses being handed over to other companies to do, unless it's like a...
No, but I think that idea, too, of, like, the original creator maybe still at the company or has left the company, and then now a new regime in that company has taken over it. Like, I think even in that regard, you get a different...
games nowadays.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
You think that was for the better?
What, like Retro's Donkey Kong?
Oh, I thought... I think Rare fucking killed Donkey Kong. We need...
I mean, Race is good, but I don't think Retro did a bad job.
No. I think Retro.
I
think Retro did great, picking up where Rare left off. I think fucking
kind of have like their own touch with it.
I think Rare destroyed the Donkey Kong name from the original arcade.
Oh,
yeah. I like my old Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
DK. Wait, no, wrong one. Shit, I had one, and now it's gone. Sonic. Ugh.
I mean...
Wait, you would have to have a good Sonic game for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic Mania...
Well, Sonic Mania is actually a really good example of that, right? Like, and that one's kind of triple the cool thing because it was not only, like, within the company approving old, right? But like
Right.
it was from the community who loved those things and grew up.
And
with
I think that's probably one of my more beloved approaches to carrying on something like that, where it's like if you can't get it from the original creator, I think I could believe in the
Someone who
faith
cares
and
about
love
it, yeah.
that actually like knowing that sense of passion is there.
Yeah,
Because I don't want it just to be like a soulless manufactured thing just to make a game. Like,
well, you get that with like comic books all the time, where you have people who grew up reading these stories and they become, religion to them at some point.
yeah,
That then come in and they're now the shepherds of the new tales, and like it wouldn't.
it's probably hard to do that, especially with like AAA games. Like trying to get like a plus 100 people team to like all be on the same mindset and level of care. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people in those games. I mean, great games, but I'm sure has to be some people who are just like, I don't care about doing this one fucking part. I don't care making this grass, man. I don't give shit.
This bush fucking sucks.
But I wonder if something like a Halo or Metroid Prime 4 or something big like that is like at these points in creation, like you really are doubling back around where it's just going to be fans of those things. Like, I don't know who's going to sign up to work at 343 and not like Halo, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone looking for a job.
well, I know that, but right, like there's got to be a piece of you that's like at least into it, right?
Yeah, like being in that field, you probably want to go towards something that you are interested in and actually care about.
yeah,
Yeah, especially when you're working on these projects for anywhere from nowadays 2 to 5 years.
Right,
yeah.
right. In the case of Halo Infinite, 17.
Yeah. And then one last example, of course, is the Mass Effect Andromeda team.
Yep, there it is.
Banger. One banger of a game.
Or you have those studios that take over licensed products like Batman or Star Wars.
Right.
I mean that's kind of a different field, I guess, but you can tell that, especially more recently, there's people that really care about.
But you can see the
projects.
quality of difference when you go from studio to studio. Like,
Yeah.
I know I shot on BioWare, but BioWare did make the best Star Wars game
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, ever.
Konami still made the best Turtles games.
Knights of the Old Republic is the best Star Wars game ever.
Not Jedi?
Nah, no. Very good. It had me thinking about it, but no. Codes were.
There it is. Well, what are your examples, listener at home, of a time when a creator has lost their creations to a company or something bigger? What's an example you can think of that worked out? What's one that didn't work out so much that we probably didn't think about? There's probably
There's probably a good handful of
a
examples.
1,000 possibilities we didn't talk about, but I'm interested to hear perspective on that. In the last week, I assume you all have played some video games. Did you want to talk about the video games you played last week, or do you need a break?
I'm good. Keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep going.
Fucking keep going.
Rolling. But
Well, Mr. Fred Durst, I've come to understand that, Matt, you played several video games this week.
yeah, so if playing video games was a full-time job, good old 40 hours, I would have hit overtime this week.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want to list them off real quick before you go into
Yeah.
detail?
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
After Party.
Jesus.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, my God.
Devil May Cry 5. Gears 5. Halo Master Chief Collection.
I literally already stopped. Like, I can't keep up. Trying to take fucking notes for this. to post this, and I got lost.
I think that's everything.
Sure.
Yeah, and I spent an hour with Call of Duty, but that was just to check back in on that game.
So where you want to start?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, I was actually, I said I thought it was 4 hours away. I was probably 2 hours away.
Okay.
But yeah, so finishing that game up. Hell of a game, man.
Yeah.
Story, still like fine. Nothing really happened at the end. I would say that last boss fight was, I think, appropriately like difficult. It felt like an end of a Star Wars movie. You against a Sith Lord, kind of going mano a mano. It had that nice grand feel to it, and I thought,
Did it feel like the end of a Souls type game? You know what I mean? Because you often compare this to Sekiro or Bloodborne in ways. Like, did it feel like that kind of thing where you're evenly matched and you're like that big challenge at the end or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing, like I said this before, but I played not on like the normal difficulty, like the next step up. Yeah, and it was like one of the few boss battles that I was like, oh shit, all right, hold on. Now I have to like watch her moves, I have to see her tells. There's a couple moves that I had to look for like the little tell just to give me that half second to evade or whatever.
Can I say something about the difficulty real quick?
What?
I saw one of the developers at Respawn quote someone's tweet about basically feeling bad that they were playing through that game on easy. And the developer was like, don't feel ashamed. Play games how you want to play them. Difficulty doesn't mean anything. And the cynical dickhead me went, well, fuck you, because you made a goddamn trophy for like, beat the game on the hardest difficulty. And I checked it. No difficulty trophies. So literally play on whatever you want. Like, and I really, really appreciate that because that's the thing now where like you start a game and we've talked about this before, but that just like mentality of just like, this is how we intended it. And it was like, then fucking make that the standard difficulty and don't do anything else. And then to gate trophies behind it and stuff like that, like you're clearly placing some level of importance on this. And to see that Jedi didn't, it was just like...
Yeah, actually, I didn't even pay attention because I don't care about my Steam achievements, so...
Yeah, I actually don't think there's Steam achievements for that game.
Oh, great. So...
Weirdly enough. But yeah, that was one thing that stood out to me. It was like, yeah, who cares? Play, and because you can jump around while you're playing,
yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure
move
you
it up,
can,
move it down.
Yeah, so I like the end of that game. Yeah, just said it though. Like story, it's fine. You know, nothing bad, but nothing like spectacular either. But yeah, that's one hell of a game. Part of me wanted to kind of keep going, but then it was that week. I had to get some games in, so I did move on to the next game, After Party. Finally got my hands on that next school studio game, the follow-up to Oxenfree.
Mm-hmm.
What if you put Oxenfree, repainted it with You in Hell with a lot of purples in that style, and threw in a drink mechanic that I don't think mattered too much?
So what was new about this game?
The drink mechanic.
Got it.
The drink names, I have to say, the drink names were funny. I took a picture of one. The one was just called, like, Black Death or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good names. And the purpose of the drinks were to try to gear your conversation. So when you're picking the drink, like, it has, like, a description of what it is, which doesn't really matter, but it will say, like, what it's going to give you. Like some kind of courage, or it will add a little sass to your conversations or something like that. So you can kind of change how you approach character dialogue with certain NPCs or whatever when you're playing as Milo and Lola, I believe. But yeah, premise of this game, you're Milo and Lola, and you are just in hell, and you kind of don't know why. You're told you died in the real world, and you find out that there is a way to get back on Earth. There is like this thing that happens every so often, or like every couple thousand years in hell, where if someone can outdrink Satan, he will, resurrect you pretty much and give you back life. So Milo and Lola find out about that, and they're like, "Oh shit, well, let's try."
Yeah.
And then the game is you get into Satan, and then he gives you a couple tasks to accomplish to kind of prove yourself worthy of the drinking contest, and then voila, you two go at it, or you three, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, the dialogue is good. Like, if you played Oxenfree, I think you know what to expect humor-wise, and the way the dialogue tree goes, and there's going to be different ways to approach things. But yeah, kind of underwhelming. Nothing kind of like new.
That's a shame.
But yeah, like the whole drink system thing, like as you're walking around or having a conversation, like most dialogue choices have like two options, but when you drink, you get a third, and that third one's going to vary depending on the kind of drink you have.
Okay.
So that's where that's how you can kind of drive the dialogue there. I don't know how much of an importance it has to like the overarching like end story, but I can see where like those middle threads could change a lot depending on doing whatever. But yeah, I think I was kind of looking for the next step up from Oxenfree, and this kind of setting and story wasn't as interesting for me personally because I thought Oxenfree was kind of cool with like the spooky fucking ghosts and an
Yeah, it had
island
like a
and
grown-up Scooby-Doo vibe.
yeah, time lapse mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this did not. It really just had the drink thing, and it didn't feel that important.
That's a bummer.
But yeah, I went on to finish that. And then I moved on to Devil May Cry. I wanted to play at least a little bit of it. That is a fucking game. I wish I had more time to run through it. But yeah, I think you guys said it all. I didn't get to play as anyone else besides Nero.
Yeah.
But no, there's some...
You got to witness a cool intro.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know that chick's name, but she's
Nico.
awesome. Yeah. Does she stay that awesome throughout the whole game?
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm.
She has tattoos with guns pointing to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Pointing to her. Yeah, I get it. Nah, she's cool. That whole game's just fucking cool.
It's just over the top. Like,
Yeah.
talk about oozing style. Like
That's
that
Devil May
game.
Cry.
Yeah.
So I just played a couple hours of that just to get the gist of what that game is, and I think I got that, and I might go back to finish it. I don't know. We'll see. And then I moved on to Gears 5. I beat the campaign by myself. That's fine. I was playing on that upper difficulty. Speaking of difficulties, I wound it down just to make sure I wasn't like getting stuck on weird dumb parts. I really like Gears 5, and I can't point out like I've been trying to reflect on why I like this game, and I can't point out a single thing besides I think it's just awesome.
Huh. I mean, that's fine, dude.
Like you just
Sometimes
go up,
the game's just fun, is awesome, it's rad, it's
you just
whatever.
chainsaw a dude or stick a lance through them, or
Yeah. Fuck it, that's fine.
It's like dope. Just
How
run
did
around.
it wrap up? I mean, not like. Like, do you feel good about it? Do you feel like, all right, I'm excited for Gear 6?
I mean, I'm excited for Gear 6 just because of the way like this game played.
Yeah.
Story wise, could give two shits.
Yeah. Okay. It's fair.
They did that thing at the end. I'm not going to try to spoil it too much, but you know, like when a game's like a singular like narrative,
Mm-hmm.
and then they give you a decision at the end.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, they do that, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's
So,
bad.
and then like if they go to Gear 6, the developers gonna have to pick which one's canon.
Yeah, it sucks.
So,
Or do they make 2 whole games?
You carry your save over. And
Yeah, split it into
Telltale style.
Yeah, do it.
I don't want to get into story spoilers. It's going to be very hard to
Go fucking Infamous 2 with it, man. Make 2 whole different games.
hey man, if they want to do that, more power to them. But I don't.
They got the money.
I don't see them doing that. But no,
What if they make Gears A and Gears B? Like, what if that's the next game? Like, you fucking Gears Red and Blue, right? Gears Sword and Shield. That's what they do. Split it up like that.
I'd be fine with like them ditching the open world stuff and going like little 6-hour campaigns, like Resident Evil 2 style.
Oh, you mean like how it used to be?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Yeah, but more action-y set piece. I don't know, whatever. I like that game. I like the guns. I like the some of the settings were cool, like the little lost little desert things you went into. You guys didn't really. You saw the beginning of the desert.
Yeah.
Oh right,
That's where we left off.
But yeah, like the desert was kind of like the snow. You used that little the pipe
skip forward thing.
Yeah,
skipper, dipper, ripper,
Skiff.
Yeah, skiff. That's
there
it.
you go.
But the open world parts were like it felt a little shoehorned in. I see what they were going for.
Yeah.
You did get the upgrades to Jack to kind of make it a little bit worth it. Jack gets some cool powers at the end. I was like right on the cusp of becoming a really cool support character for you all. I was like 2 hours away from getting a key power up.
We can go back to that maybe, sort of, sometime. But I feel like we have another new thing to get through as a team.
Yes.
A fire team.
Yes. I guess I'll go to that. No, I'll wait because a couple of us at the table have actually played it. So,
I'll just throw my segue in the fucking trash then.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I think I'm
Thought I
new one.
set that one up perfectly.
I mean, he reached for it.
Damn, and doubling down on it. And Matt's still going to talk about Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, is that the last thing?
Yep.
Great. Yeah, beat Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Very easy difficulty.
Yeah. Zipped right through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me in fighting games, as soon as I would get to a fight that is just bullshit, I would just be done.
Yeah.
And not want to play. So very easy. I think I lost 4 rounds in total.
Well,
So, yeah.
it got a little tough in the middle there. One of the fights.
Some of the characters suck.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But no, that's fucking nuts. That they do a lot of weird shit.
A lot of weird shit, a lot of weird time manipulation stuff, and just
it makes sense though. Like
everything fit.
Despite me not playing X or 10 or
10.
Did it refer to it as X or 10?
I think they called it X. MKX. Yeah, X.
Yeah, despite me never playing X and just watching like a YouTube like little recap of X and refreshing what happened in 9. It made sense to me.
Yeah,
a lot of cool stuff. That's some very heavy cinematic. A lot of work went into that, man.
Oh yeah, it looks good. Like when
the seamlessness too of like going in and out of fights is like
that flows really well. I just love like the constant escalation between NetherRealm's games of just when the first trailer hit for MKX, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero in the snow with that Wiz Khalifa song playing, and it was just like, that's what this fucking game's gonna look like. And the game looked great, but then when Injustice 2 got announced, like just Supergirl's face alone was like, that's what this game's gonna look like? This is insane. And then like they're not gonna get better. And like MK11 just looks so fucking, oh my god.
Yeah, really just all the little particle effects with the powers and stuff like that. Yeah, it all looks really good. And then the last thing I did, like I said, I did go back to Call of Duty just for a hair.
Yeah.
So maps are free, characters are not.
What do you need a character for?
I think it's just a skin, really. So that is all locked behind a battle pass. Battle pass, I believe, was $10. And the annoying thing is, you know how like games give you like a little dot or like a little thing that says like, hey, like you got something new here, click here.
Yeah.
The store dot for me was never going away. I don't know if it was a bug or intentional, but if the OCD in you is it's
uninstall,
out there, that will.
Believe it or not, that's why I couldn't do Final Fantasy 13.
Interesting.
That was okay.
The encyclopedia. I was like, who gives a shit?
Yo, yeah, tell me about it. Tell me
just
about
let
it.
me run.
Yeah, let me run straight to the next
I mean,
battle because
I could.
there's nothing to do.
I could just ignore it.
Let me run to the next battle so I can auto battle and watch just it all play out.
That's fine. No. The gameplay, whatever. It's. I don't care about reading.
Mark gets it.
Sure.
I play,
at least
play
something
Sonic
got
games.
you to not play that game.
I play Sonic games. Hallways aren't. They don't bother me.
It's not the hallway part. But I don't want to get into this. So close.
No.
Now I'm all triggered and shit.
Yeah.
The dot and Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, dot and Call of Duty. Yeah, I couldn't get it to go away. Like I said, it could be bugged.
That's a pain in the ass, though.
Could be intentionally that. Don't know.
Yeah, I'd lean more toward the latter. But you know, what do I know?
No, that game still
Call of Duty.
Still pretty fucking good, man. Yeah. I feel like the gun I was using they nerfed because I feel like someone was pumping bullets at the people and just weren't dropping. Like,
did you have the shotgun? I know the shotgun was a big point of contention.
No, I was using the M4A1, which is like the standard assault rifle you get from the start. And I feel like I was doing so much better with it than when I came back. And yeah, when I wasn't shooting a headshot, I felt like I wasn't killing anyone. But that's alright. No, the game still looks very pretty. It was nice. This game is going through a lot of updates. Like I haven't been playing a lot, but I just casually open up Battle.net from time to time, let things update. And that game seems to always have an update for some reason, and it's always like a couple gigs for some reason.
That's just bad.
But since the last time I played it, I guess they have optimize some things, and when I launched the game it was like, hey, just to let you know, we've changed some recommended settings based on your setup. Did you just want to change them? And I was like, oh, that's nice of them to like
pick up on what's the
and just kind of instead of me having to go through some stuff or noticing things
and tweak or read a subreddit about
they were just like, hey, we'll based on your computer and how you have your settings already, we'll optimize it.
That's cool.
So I was like, that's nice. Thank you Battle.net. Nice. But yeah, that's I know I'm quick there, but that one that's a fucking lot of hours of video games this week, not including
the Halo Master Chief Collection.
I got you.
No, but you did, man. You like, I feel like every day you'd text us like, "Well, I beat this." I'm like, fucking Christ, what the fuck? burning through shit.
Dude, fucking crunch is real, man, in the video game industry.
Spoken from someone who knows. Master Chief Collection got a big update this week. Reach dropped. You guys played some Reach.
Yeah.
It's just
just the
multiplayer.
Multiplayer, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a Halo game. It's Reach from what I remember Reach being.
It's such a fresh of breath there. I know.
All right.
Dyslexia is at its finest. But from when we played the 360 version, going from that into this,
really, that
felt
that
so
good?
nice. Yes, like it's so smooth. The frame rate's nice. The
Yeah.
guns just feel great. I mean, maybe the DMR. Like, for some reason, I never really focused on it before or paid attention to it. I was just, all right, just whatever.
We got put into a lot of SWAT games. That's why we had to focus with it.
And I think because I actually did good.
Yeah.
I was like, SWAT was like the only game I was good at, I think.
I think because they don't have the battle rifle in Reach. Do
I
they?
think they
or not
do.
not prominently. Like I feel like in
Yeah.
that campaign, I used a lot of DMR.
And I used to confuse the DMR for a battle rifle.
Yep.
Because they just kind of felt the same to me before.
Yeah.
Just the difference is a 3-round burst versus a semi-automatic burst.
Yeah. No, but
When that
the
burst
DMR
is
is so accurate. And then, like, if you take your time with the shots, it does more damage because that reticle has to keep going back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the multiplayer is pretty cool. We were only switching between Reach and 3.
Yeah.
But a lot of those game modes, like, they had some fun, dumb ones in there.
I forgot about that. The, what's that fucking game?
Was it just called Halo Ball?
I think that's what it was called, but when you go to like an arcade,
Skee Ball.
Skee Ball. It was a fucking skee ball map, and it was
Huge.
What?
It was 2 teams of 4, and it were just random balls that would spawn, and you would hit them with a hammer into this giant ass fucking skee ball board.
Well, to be more descriptive,
Dude.
like it was there was a wall separating us, so we couldn't fight each other.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
were back to back the teams.
Yeah.
But we had golf clubs
That's
with
fucking
giant
cool.
golf balls
Right.
to knock that acted like a hammer, and you had to knock into these big rings.
I fucking love that.
And we would have won, but I think Mark accidentally team killed us.
I did.
And the spawn time fucked us.
Yeah, the spawn time
Way to
fucked
go,
him.
Mark.
The guy that was carrying
Damn.
us, I stopped him from scoring.
I didn't realize they were all, like, the balls were going to spawn at one spot, so I was, like, running around, like, just hitting other people's balls. I was so confused.
And because I started doing it, that's why I killed him. If I had not have just
Shit.
if I stayed in my lane.
Is that like a permanent game mode? Or...
No, I think it just... We pretty much queued into everything.
I don't
but
know if you can, like,
Griff Ball.
specifically search for
that
that
one?
game, or if it's within a bundle, because sometimes those boxes you can check, they cover certain game modes,
Right.
not just one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's in one of those or what. I mean, I know they did a good job of carrying over everybody's like forged games and whatnot.
Yeah,
so they carried
right.
all that over.
That's cool.
So I don't know if it's from that or what.
Yeah,
Man.
but yeah, we were queuing into everything but Griff Ball. I did end up playing the
Yeah.
Griff Ball match
Oh, yeah.
on PC.
Nice.
So yes, Reach and the Master Chief Collection, just Reach though, is on PC.
That's cool.
Halo, it's mouse and keyboard Halo. Like I don't have much else to really.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Like better than controller, or because I feel like Halo is one of those ones where I wouldn't want to depart from a controller.
I mean, it's tough. If you're not a mouse and keyboard player primarily, you're gonna get your ass kicked here a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially as it continues to live and people keep playing it.
Yeah.
But you know, like any other game, like you get your ass kicked a little bit, then you start picking up on some habits, and yeah, you get a little bit better. And I found myself like getting a little bit competent. I feel like I know we were getting a lot of SWAT games on Xbox, but I feel like SWAT is even more prominent on PC right now, just because headshot galore with a DMR. It does feel good when you're just like flicking your mouse and you just pop a headshot. And
It's very Counter-Strike.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it doesn't take like a million hits to kill somebody. It's just like pop, done, and it feels so good.
Yeah, then you know, quite the opposite when you spawn and turn a corner and you just
Oh,
die
yeah,
in one shot.
I mean, that's just Halo, though. I feel.
But no, I like it a lot. And then the one thing, or one of the things they did with the Master Chief Collection is Reach comes with the ability to alter your Spartan, like the armor and stuff like that. So, you could probably speak to this a little bit more than I can, Mark, but the original game had like an unlocking system where you kind of kept playing.
Yeah, like you had to unlock, but then you also had to get credits to purchase these said
in-game
items.
credits.
Yeah,
right?
and I like beating the campaign at like heroic difficulty netted me enough credits to get basically nothing. So it was
they're really pushing the multiplayer too.
Yeah, it was a grind for sure.
That.
So yeah, in this game, it's kind of like what looks like a battle pass, but is really like old school Call of Duty, like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
There it is.
You pretty much play games, you get experience, you get more experience if you get more like the medals or like
the rank keeps.
Yeah, what do they call it in Halo? Like the in-game like medals you get for like an assist.
Oh shit!
You know, like when you get an assist and it pops like a medal or something. Whatever. The more you
those
get,
things, yeah,
the more you get of those, the more points you get towards your experience. And then when you get a level, you get an unlock, and you just unlock the next thing, kind of going along this pseudo battle pass looking menu, and it gets you all kinds of different like shapes for your armor, whether it's your helmet, shoulders. I think it even has some like character models and voices as well.
Yeah, the voices thing would happen. I think for multiplayer.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if that was to replace the announcer or if that was your sound pack for when
I think it was your sound pack because I remember seeing it as an option in like your character customization.
Yeah. But I also saw that like, or I saw in this one the like level progression or the whatever. Cortana's still like in the very final rung of this, which makes sense because in Core Reach it was like 9 million credits or whatever in the game. Like, it was the hardest thing to fucking get was her voice.
That's the thing I'm looking forward to for the campaign is doing all those side Easter egg stuff.
Yeah.
Have you done the one for the club?
I don't remember really playing Reach all that much.
Oh yeah. We'll have to. Yeah.
Wait, at least have to do that.
That's why I'm excited to play this.
Mark and I went clubbing.
Yeah.
This is the time. Like right now that. This is when I fucked up all those Halo games when I first got my Xbox, was that after Game of the Year recording, like, just that ride to the beginning of next year, like, oof, it's going to be a fucking Halo-ass time.
And then the two things that were really cool, I think, with the ranking system, one, you don't have to play Reach to get the points. So
it applies to everything.
I think I don't remember if you said it on or off air now, but me and Mark queued into both Reach and 3 games. And when we noticed what was going on after like 2 matches, it was Reach matches. So we're like, oh, curious if it would carry over to the next game. Well, we finally got a Halo 3 game, and progression kept going.
That's cool.
And then the next cool thing, if you're like me, who has an Xbox to play with you all and a PC to go fuck off on my own time.
Yeah.
Progress carries back and forth. I was very concerned about that. I thought I was going to have to...
Because there's no cross-play.
Correct.
But
the cross-save is there.
That's good.
For real. So, yes, I was very happy to see that.
That's cool.
So I'll just kind of keep going back and forth between the two. And I don't think it will really mess me up at all. Because, playing Halo with a controller, and they're two completely different things. Like, I don't think I would be bothered.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be okay, at least for me. Like, I wouldn't mind trying mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And then I think it was yesterday, I got teabagged for the first time in Halo Reach in a long time. And I was like, damn, this feels good.
Felt good? Yeah.
It felt real good. Nuts in my face, but, it felt good. It felt right.
Yeah, I think it happened when we were playing with me, but it was only for, like, not even a second. It was just like a blink of an eye. It was just a little dip. And I was like,
little dip.
Those feel worse to me for some reason than, like, a prolonged one.
Yeah.
After that happened, though...
Because you're not even worth staying.
They're just like, bitch, and just go.
I will say that after that happened, something ignited inside of me, and I made sure I knew what the crouch button was on my keyboard. So
there you go.
We're ready to roll now, boys.
What is it, control?
It is left control.
Good, yeah.
I'm all fucked up, though, because sometimes I map it to C depending on the game, so I have to be careful which one. Like Call of Duty, I have crouch mapped to C, but then I think left control is prone. So you have to be careful.
Yeah,
that was everything.
I'm excited to play some Master Chief Collection this week.
Yeah, I want to get through that campaign. I remember playing it, not it being my favorite for whatever reason, but maybe I wasn't in the headspace to play Halo because I had like I borrowed a friend's Xbox for a weekend. I ran through all the BioShocks, and then I got to that, and I was like, oh man, there's a lot of first person shooting.
Yeah, no, it's good. Mark, did you play anything else besides the Master Chief Collection?
Yeah, but not too much. I played through Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Oh.
Why'd you do that?
I think I tried before
Yeah.
and didn't get far, so I wanted to try again, and just because I think I got it for free the 1 month when it was gold.
Yeah, it was a gold.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, and we were talking about it last time. I was like, let me see what's up here.
And
I don't like it.
yeah,
Alright.
The gameplay is fine. I do love how they demonstrate every little book, and it shows all the different hand drawn animations of what each
yeah.
attack looks like before you unlock it. I think that's pretty cool. Gameplay is fine. Story feels super dragged out,
Yeah.
and I do not care. This is probably the most nitpicky thing, but whenever something pops up with text, it looks like a fairy tale
Yes.
opening, just a little glimmer
Yes.
of left to right, and then the words pop up for everything.
Like karaoke, like it wipes like that, kind of.
It's kind of like karaoke on Disney Channel. It's just
It's a little spark that draws
Yeah.
the words out.
Like a little Navi.
kind of.
Yeah, but it's not like karaoke where it's like bop, bop, like beat for beat, like spelling
No.
it out. It's just like
It's like
It's like writing the words though. Like
it's like a Kingdom Hearts trailer.
yeah,
How the words appear out of
out
nowhere.
of
It's
Stardust.
just-
Like
I
and-
had officially erased that out of my brain, but thank you for bringing
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
like for me,
sure.
when I first played that, I remember not knowing that existed. We were up. It was the night that you remember when we went to the flea market
Yes.
and bought BB guns or
That's
airsoft
one
guns.
night.
Yeah. Laser
And
pointers and whatever.
That and I think we watched Ninja Turtles 2. I think we watched Secret of the Ooze. Maybe. I don't. We did a whole. We just didn't sleep for one night, and we did that, and we fucking watched that. And Chris was talking about Lords of Shadow, and I was like, "Wait, there's a new Castlevania." I had completely missed my radar. Watched the trailer, and I was just melting. And then when it came out, I got it. And I was like, "Oh,
It's
why
like-
is everything green? Why am I in the fucking woods?"
Yeah, why am I in a swamp in daytime?
Yeah.
I felt awful. It
Yeah.
just felt gross. And it's like, oh, let's fight these goblins coming out of a tent that's just never ending. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
dude,
Is
So
the
this
castle...
plays like Devil May Cry, right?
This plays like God of War.
it's like God
but
of War,
not as good.
original
Yes.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
not as good as
Yeah.
God of War, with some Shadow of the Colossus boss fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of QTE.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Which
as a cute,
there's but there's good ideas there. It's just like it's not a Castlevania game. You know what I mean?
It's just...
But then you get to the end and you're like,
I don't know how long I don't know how long the castle was gonna... I don't know how long I was to make it to there.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was gonna be...
oh wait, did you not?
I never made it to the castle.
It is a while before you get to the castle. Yeah,
With a name like Castlevania,
I know. You would think
it's-
you'd be in a
it's
fucking
Swamp
castle.
Town. That's all it is.
That's it. Ultimately, in the end, I didn't hate that game. And I've honestly been thinking about revisiting it, but now you're reminding me that I don't want to.
That was another game where I did watch the ending
Yeah.
way back, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's a cool twist."
Yes, it is a cool
And so
twist,
the sequel might be really cool.
but it's not.
I would say that you got a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you probably didn't get too far into the weird fucking red blue mechanics.
Probably not, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they you basically you eventually get two energy bars. Like one's a blue one, one's a red one. I don't remember what they are at this point. But it's like kind of like as you're fighting, you pull a trigger and it uses your blue meter to charge blue attacks, and you have to fight red enemies with blue meter. You have to fight blue enemies with red. It's like a lot of balancing in that, and it's integral into the final fight of the game. Like you can't beat that fight without mastering that stuff, or not mastering, but at least hammering through it.
Gotcha.
And it felt like all these systems were forced in there because, well, we have to. You know what I mean? It never felt like this is a good idea from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, like if this didn't have the Castlevania name, I don't think people would have
Fuck no.
looked into it at
Not
all,
at all.
because it feels very generic, like of its time.
Yeah.
It feels very dated.
And that's why, like, after this fucking Mercury Steam taking over Metroid, I was terrified. But, Samus Returns, albeit with Ben,
Pretty fine game.
pretty fine game, It definitely, there's some stuff I would have liked to see, but generally, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lords of Shadow.
Just wasn't feeling it. I was like, it's funny that's called that, because there's no shadows in that game. It's all sunlight.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't get dark. Eventually, you do go into the castle, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you going to go back to it at all?
No.
All right. I don't want to spoil, but
I saw the ending.
Not that, but there's a dumb
Yeah,
thing.
but our listeners might want to revisit this game or visit.
I would say don't.
When you get to the castle, you're like, this is cool. Look, I fought like a crow lady. This is kind of cool. This is getting kind of dark. And then you have to play chess with a little girl. By moving statues around in a room. It literally pulls out and it's a chessboard it's a room size.
So you have to control
chessboard.
Gabriel to move a chess piece.
No, you could just control the chess pieces from an
fine.
aerial view, but like, why am I playing chess in the middle of this Castlevania game?
Because that's probably more entertaining than playing Castlevania. Like, I'm okay with chess.
It was just weird. I mean,
Wait, there's so many.
Dude.
So, like, a literal game of chess.
yes.
So, if some kid who's never played chess, there was a whole rules thing.
I think it's not like chess. Something was off about it. We'll have to look that up and see. But it was, it was fucking.
So wait, chess inside of a game that isn't a chess game. Are you saying that Castlevania invented auto chess?
You know what?
Do you want to know who helped make this game?
No,
Valve.
he didn't.
He didn't at all.
He put his name on it.
It's in the credits.
I think that was how they sold his. I think that's how they fucking sold that.
Oh, he
game.
probably just saw it as like,
yeah.
that's it.
I'm
gave it a thumbs up.
pretty sure that was his.
You want to know? You want to know who batted an eye at it and gave it a thumbs up?
There you go.
You know who kind of approved it? Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
That's the most Kojima thing you could do.
Which it kind of explains. I would say I was about to say maybe he's the reason for the pacing.
Oh my God, Hideo Kojima invented the auto chess genre.
We'll have to look that chess game up, but yeah. Anyway,
A lot of things make sense now in this world.
yeah, it's true.
It's like Death Stranding. Nothing made
was
sense
also-
until the final 3 hours.
It's also weird playing a game at like 20 frames on an Xbox One X. But Werewolves are cool.
Yeah,
Rain was alright.
yeah,
That was a cool beginning.
yeah. It was cool. Yeah. Did you play anything else?
Yeah, did I talk about Portal last time?
Yeah,
Yeah, I finished it.
nice.
Just I don't know. That was just fun to get through.
Yeah.
Just a little thing. I didn't really do much else outside of that. I think just because of the whole Valve thing happening, I was like, I kind of want to play Valve games again because I don't really have much access to that, at least on Xbox, unless you have the disc.
Yeah.
You can't play Orange Box. You can't play Left 4 Dead 1 or 2
Really?
unless you have the discs.
Whoa, weird. You'd think they would.
I got the PS3 disc. That's
Yeah.
not doing us any good, though.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, PC version's where it's at for any of that anyway.
Sure.
But I was like, well, there's Portal: still alive.
Yeah.
So I went through that. No, I still
Is there
enjoy
a
it.
difference in that? Is it just the first game ported and they put a subtitle in it?
That might be.
I feel like there's minor differences. I think it's still essentially the same game. Maybe the achievements might be different. For some reason, I remember seeing different color portals, or maybe that's just only the PC version.
Portal
I
Still
couldn't-
Alive is the port of the original Portal game on Xbox 360. It contains the original story of Portal developed by Valve, 14 new bonus test chambers modified from the Portal, the Flash version map pack created by We Create Stuff.
Well, I never got to any of that. I started after I beat it. I started doing the developer commentary because Valve does it in a kind of a neat way where you get to walk through the level, hit a little speech bubble, and then
That's cool.
different developers will give their insight on why they did certain thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I just should have done that from the beginning when I played this game because it kind of makes you play the whole game again, and I didn't feel like solving puzzles again. I just kind of want to just run through and just let them solve everything for me. I was like, okay, so I just stopped that. But
That's probably one of the coolest games to do a commentary like that because Portal, all that was, it was originally just a test of like the engine, right? Like, and then they spun it out into something, and then it was a game. Wasn't that like the kind of the basis of that?
that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or they were just messing with different functions.
That's
and then
why I
they're
like the first Portal so short compared to Portal 2
Because it was a.
Yeah, they say that in the thing where it's like, this is basically just like a testing grounds.
yeah.
So
But it was a small development team who then was like acquired by Valve. Not acquired, but I think Valve just got the game from them or whatever. But
I think one of my favorite commentaries in the beginning because you're in that little room with door and all you have is your bed and a little radio, and there was a little commentary for just the radio, like you can tell that it's like, hey, this is based on the like main song of the game, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, right.
cool, thanks, insightful. I mean, there was more to it. I'm being reductive, but
No.
oh yeah, I don't know. That's
I
basically
love Portal. Man.
yeah, still
Yeah.
love it. I think it had something to do with that. After playing Control and going through my own little weird, I'm like fascinated with like vacant buildings.
That, yeah.
So I think that had something to do with it.
Exploring that sterile environment.
Yeah,
That's
seeing where the Rat Man was behind
Oh,
the walls
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Let me know cake is a lie, but it's not.
What a meme.
But it is.
There isn't cake for me, but there's cake in that game.
Yeah. Cake to your death. Spoilers.
Speaking of death, Demon's Tilt came out on Xbox Game Pass, and I wish I bought that game in January when it hit Steam.
I thought you made
in
it.
early access. Dude, I fucking wish I made it. This is the exact game I dreamed of making, but Demon's Tilt, I immediately just completely mesmerized by this whole, everything the game has. It's a 3-layer pinball game, just fucking covered in occult themes.
Oozing style.
Oozing style. Like it simultaneously reaches back to pinball on NES and then also just pushes digital pinball forward, in my opinion.
It was like Sega ass music.
And dude, I gotta see like who made the music and if they used
Like if F-Zero was on Genesis,
oh my god, dude.
that's what it
Well,
reminded me
funnily enough, like as I'm playing it, so the one part where it like kind of kicks in with the drums going, like that when it finally kicks, that sounds super like Devil's Fury, that pinball game for Genesis I was playing earlier this year.
of. It could be a nod.
It fully feels like that, and it's just there's like so many secrets and weird things hidden in this game, like across the many tables, and that's just on the normal difficulty. Like as you get into other difficulties, there's more stuff.
Is that the only table?
Or
Or like does that change?
I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Yeah,
I mean, because I played a little bit of that, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it.
yeah, like I'm slowly
That's
figuring
most
out
pinball
like
tables, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's happening, but things are popping, lights are going.
Yeah, like lately, like I started to understand certain parts of pinball, or like they try to add a story. Like you got to do this thing and then go
Right,
over
right,
and do
right.
it.
I kept seeing rituals started, and then that woman's eye started crying blood. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, that's kind of cool.
yeah, dude. There's a lot of weird, cool, creepy stuff. I've taken out whatever the little guy at the bottom middle is, and that turns into a bunch of knights. You take out the knights, and that turns into
I think this is what you want to call the simulator to be. What was that mobile or Steam game called this simulator? The card thing?
Oh yeah,
I
yes.
think that you wanted that to be the.
Yep.
that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah, this is fucking cool.
Had like a Capcom grading system,
Yeah, like
like Devil May Cry grading system.
yep, felt very yeah. I don't have a ton to say like in depth about it. I just really like this game. If you've got Game Pass, you should just be playing this right now and not
Solid
listening to
pinball.
us. If you don't, you should go spend $15 on Steam. I think it's 20, but it's on sale for 15. But it's a really good pinball game.
Maybe I want to try Sonic Spinball again,
I love Sonic Spinball.
but I don't know if I can go back.
It's a hard, weird game, but it's fun and interesting.
Yeah, Game Pass for both.
Yeah, PC
Both.
and Xbox. Do it.
Nice.
Well, why don't we take a break? We'll come back and hit up another topic. I think that's kind of it, actually. One more topic to close out the show, and then call it an episode. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We have breaking news. This just hit moments ago. Snoop Dogg is in NHL 2020.
What the fuck?
Like
Or NHL 20.
as a player,
Yep.
like a character you play as, or just music.
It's... Yeah.
Like for real though.
Is it on sale anywhere?
Jump in.
Cheapassgamer.com.
Let's
Let's see where it's on sale at.
Mark, our topic this
And the
week.
DOW. Oh, sorry. He's not here with us.
To close out our episode this week. It has been 25 years of PlayStation.
Cool.
Funnily enough, the PlayStation came out the same year as the Sega Saturn. So a couple weeks ago, we celebrated the Saturn, and here we are celebrating the PlayStation. I'll let you guys collect your thoughts about memories of PlayStation and things like that. But PlayStation actually, fun history. Sony had partnered with Nintendo to make what would have been called the Nintendo PlayStation, the kind of a disc version of the Super Nintendo, and kind of overnight, without really saying anything to Sony, Nintendo decided we're going to talk to Philips, and I mean that is a story that history has painted a very clear picture for us. But in the wake of all that, after all the development and R&D that went into to the PlayStation, Sony decided to bring it out on its own backing and make the PlayStation, and launched in December of 1994. We, of course, in America didn't get it until September of 95. And then, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, it was one of the things that kind of put some pause on the Saturn in the United States, among others. But, 25 years ago, I don't know if I had one at launch or if we got it the year after. I just remember getting it for Christmas when I was very young. And PlayStation's the only console manufacturer that I've had every generation of, and I still own my originals of. I think, yeah. Like, I still have my original ones, and I still play them from time to time. I'll start with, what are your memories of PlayStation? What was your first exposure to PlayStation?
I never owned one, but my cousin had one, so therefore I owned one. And I think I can't remember what the first game was right away. I think I put a CD in first, and so seeing that CD player menu,
Dude, that CD player menu is still so good.
that blue background, the rainbow like numbers or whatever, it was interesting. I'm sure it was like a demo disc or something I tried first, but I remember renting from Blockbuster. I don't know if it was together or if it was like one after the other. I remember there was a snowboarding game.
Cool Borders?
Maybe. I just remember the loading screens would have different tricks to show off while the game was loading, and I laughed at the one that was called a stiffy.
Hell yeah.
I got...
We still laugh at that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Stiffy. There was a Dragon Ball GT Final Bout.
Oh.
Now, Dragon Ball Z was still early in like its Saiyan Saga, maybe Namek Saga. So all this was like, what
is happening?
I don't know anything about anything.
Who are these people?
Yeah, it's just this weird 3D
Why does
fighter.
Goku look like that?
Yeah, why is Goku a kid but also not?
Yeah.
I don't understand. But watching the intro was cool. It was a little animated thing. Game was really weird. I don't know what was going on. But for some reason, I have the most like vivid memories of playing that game specifically. And then the majority of my time in the beginning of PlayStation was just being enveloped in Disc 1 of Final Fantasy VII.
How many times has
I
that
never
disc-
made it to the end of Disc 1.
No.
It would be like...
No one has.
No,
I'm convinced.
I remember climbing some
My
big
cousin
ass...
did.
I don't
Mary
believe it.
Claire, her brother.
I don't believe it.
I've seen it.
Where's the proof?
I've seen it.
I don't know what part it is, but there's a part where you climb up this big vine wall, and then you get to see like all the lights in the city like below you.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not very far into this one.
No, it's not. But I don't know if I made it past that. That's for some reason that stands out to me.
Matt?
I remember getting it for Christmas. This is like the first like you. This is the only console manufacturer like set of consoles that I've owned. All of them. I don't have all my originals though. I have my PS2 is out in the wild somewhere. I don't have it, but I know exactly where it's at. Mm-hmm. And I don't have my original PS3 because it burned up, and I tricked GameStop into believing it worked.
Yeah.
And then I got it. But I have that PlayStation 3. Once again, not at my house, but know exactly where that's out in the world.
Interesting.
And then, the PlayStation 4. And but I want to say it was probably 97, 98 when I got my PlayStation. I had played PlayStation before, or I think it was my godfather's husband. He had a PlayStation. I was exposed. It was the first time I ever saw a Resident Evil game. He was playing 2. He had like a demo disc I was fooling around with from time to time. But I think first games might have been like Tomb Raider 2.
My brother and I played the fuck out of the demo for that. Just like running around, shooting a tiger, and then swimming. And like the swimming was just so like
good.
You couldn't do anything like that in games before. It was so weird.
I didn't like Tomb Raider.
No, I didn't like it at all. But it was just like
in hindsight. But you know, at the time,
the turning.
No, even at the time, it always felt weird. But it was just like
I was trying to do a Codemaker explode, but I don't think that was real.
Yeah, it just I don't know something about it felt like new and like it felt future-y. Like coming off like the 16-bit era and like you playing just that demo, like having something move polygonally and just in a different space, a different dimension. Literally, it just was like mind-blowing. It was so weird.
Yeah,
cool.
PlayStation 1, I mean, I granted I watched a lot of sports as a kid, but I feel like actually playing all the sports games taught me all the rules that I know today. I was not an EA Sports guy. I was 989.
I mean, dude, they had really good shit.
NFL Game Day, NHL Face Off. Yeah. The only thing that I played that was EA was Triple Play Baseball.
Oh man!
Before it was MVP.
Yeah. Did you ever play FIFA?
Yep.
I think it was 98, maybe. Whichever.
I played a couple FIFAs. I played because they still. Well, they don't do it, but back in the day, they used to spin off their own World Cup games. I remember playing, I think, France, whatever year France was in. I think it was 96 or 98. Whatever, I remember playing that.
I just remember my brother and I playing FIFA, I think, 98, just eternally.
FIFA was good.
It was so much fun. Like, it was just, the camera was way pulled back, and, like, it was super tiny, but it just, like, it was fun as shit. We just sit there for hours, just go left and right, and we would fucking try and get penalties as much as possible to see who could get yellow carded and red carded the most. It was man. So much fun.
I remember NFL Game Day had after every play you could take a sack and you could still get up and taunt.
That's
they're like
cool.
you just do this fucking dumb dance, and I was like, yeah, this is great. Why don't NFL players do it? Lo and behold, they would get flagged for 15 yards and a fine. But it all started there.
I remember,
and of course, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash was the big one. I remember still playing Crash 2, and we had to go to a Christmas party, which was so atypical because like we would do family stuff, but I remember we were going to like somebody like a parent's friend's Christmas party, and it was just like, why do we have to go here? I don't want to go here at all. Like, this sucks. And I just remember being pulled away from playing Crash. I was in the level where you have to like avoid the TNT on the ice, and there's also the nitro boxes. Like, that vividly stands out to me, where I was like stuck on that, and I kept dying, and I kept getting frustrated that we had to leave because I felt like I was getting so close at beating that. I was like, do we have to go? I don't want to fucking go. And the whole time being there, like, just wanting to leave to go play Crash. And then hours of Twisted Metal with my brother. Just
I would watch my friends play that a lot.
God, so much.
I'll never forget the disc it was on, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 demo.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about logging hours in a demo.
Yeah, man.
That warehouse.
Forever.
Fuck that shit up.
And
then that moment when he finally realized the secret tape is like up there. Oh
that,
shit! Oh dude, you can go up there. That's awesome.
For me too, Symphony of the Night. I mean, obviously, you know how influential that game was, but if you remember, my NES Castlevania story of just having that cart that never actually worked, and every day trying it anyway, and then to finally have a Castlevania, and like, of course, we know how big that game is. Anyway, even separate from my own feelings about it, like Castlevania, just the whatever the cultural impact that game had. But yeah, I mean, having that come to life in a big way, like
Also, memory cards.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yes, and being able, like, I would spend, just like you talked about, like, the CD player, I would spend equal amounts between the CD player, popping in my Spice Girl CD, and also just looking at the memory card, like, thing.
The icons and all that.
Seeing how they did that.
But just the idea of, like, I can just bring this memory card over to a friend's house. I don't have to carry the whole system over.
No. So good.
Well, I mean, unless they don't have it.
Yeah. Which
Like,
how things have reverted. For one series we do here.
I know. You technically could PlayStation up. PlayStation
No.
Plus. No?
I fucked around with that. No, you can't. It's more the game's fault than... I've done it successfully with other games here when I'm house sitting, but that one in particular that we use for FCW, it's
That doesn't surprise me.
But,
sorry.
No, you're fine. For me, the biggest memories I have with the PlayStation, because eventually I got the newer model, the
PS1.
Yeah,
the one that was like smaller and
The first time I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, there's another one of these."
I know.
I loved it. It was so beautiful.
I want one.
That was like before I started reading like video game magazines. I was just exposed to like
and I think
whatever.
Yeah, like, I think I already.
And also keep in mind, I was homeschooled, so I really like besides like soccer practices or whatever. I was like.
The exposure to it was just what you had.
And then I saw it for the first. Whoa, that's so fucking.
so
cool. I wasn't saying that for at the time, but
I
probably
mean,
in the back of my mind I was.
Weird. Like I remember getting that model after the PS2.
Oh yeah, wow.
Because my brother had a PS2. I was living with my mom, so it was only me. So I was like, I'm getting a fucking PlayStation. Yeah. And then I got Digimon World 3 with it. Oh man. And Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. 3 I still have, and apparently it's really hard to find.
Oh, that's cool.
No, but before that, if not for PlayStation, I wouldn't have been exposed to any of those Digimon games.
Yeah, was that your first, or was the cartoon?
The cartoon was first, but these games followed shortly after. Like they were all like in this one moment, but they were so different. Like the first one, they try to, because they all came from like a virtual pet thing, like a Tamagotchi. So they try to incorporate that with like that first one, and I didn't understand it. I wanted to like it, but I couldn't like it. But I loved the visuals. And the second one became more like a dungeon crawler, but you're in a vehicle and you're driving, and it's all like 3v3 fights, turn based. And then they had a card battler game that I thought was cool at the time, but now I'm looking back, I can't really look at it.
Yeah, it's fine. I just said I played Tomb Raider a lot too.
Yeah. But the third game, that felt like the pinnacle of those games, because it was like you had a party of 3. You could see the sprites, they would follow you around. So it was all 2D sprites, isometric in the world, but then in the game, like when you get to the fights, the turn-based fights, it was all poly models, 3D battling, like turn-based combat. Never got far, but that was really awesome.
How do you feel PlayStation's legacy is being celebrated today?
Better than it was 5 years ago.
How so?
I just feel like, well, maybe not 5 years ago, but like I think they realized when they were putting together PlayStation All-Stars that they can't even get access to some of their All-Stars. Yeah. Like, when I think PlayStation, one of my first immediate thoughts is Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. And I think they kind of realized, like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Kind of goes back to our earlier topic.
Yeah, right, yeah, where things kind of get away from...
but now I feel like there's, they have a bunch of those commercials now. Like, yeah, some of it's like to sell, like to promote new games, but they have a bunch of like, you still see Nathan Drake hanging around. I think there's a little bit more. Yeah, I think they realized something there.
Yeah, I mean, Medieval just got that remaster in end of October. Like, there's a reach back a little bit.
I mean, it was small. I mean, you'll probably never see it again. Like, even Patapon getting ported to PS4, like, that was something weird.
It's that like, and Parappa. And...
It's like low-key celebrating. Like, there's no... Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're seeing it, but it's at the same time, they're not like...
Oh, it's not like Nintendo.
Yeah, like Nintendo will gladly give you those first games... give you the opportunity to buy those first games over and over again. Yeah. Well, what about the fan base? Do you feel like fans of PlayStation are still holding on to that? Like, For me, I pay closer attention, I think, to the emulation scene and like that side of things. And I feel like it's not quite there, and like it's. I'm not saying that the emulation doesn't work, because it totally does. I just mean that like I think the fervor for a lot of that stuff is not as strong, widespread as stuff like NES or SNES.
I think I see more love to like the style, than like preserving. Like there's a lot of inspiration, like a lot of like low poly, like demakes and like
there's that
or whatever.
I think that too. That I didn't even think about that angle too. But I think in terms of like legacy of PlayStation, we see so many indie games grab the 16-bit style, but not so many are grabbing that PS1 style yet. I feel like we're on the cusp of that, and I think that era just aged so weirdly.
Yeah, like I'm more exposed to the indie like horror gaming community.
Yeah,
and so a lot of them are like embracing that whole like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, like aesthetic and style and whatnot. It's pretty cool. There's still there's something about the PlayStation that had that like it would set you. It would set the vibes somehow. Like it was a system, first system to me where it had an intro. You know, the orange diamond saying Sony, and then the PlayStation, the noise with it. You know, having that weird little flute in the background.
The scary red screen from PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
If you put in a wrong formatted disc and it went to the red, glaring red with the cubes, like, oh god, no, eject, get me out.
I feel like we hinted on this a little bit, but how about the legacy in terms of being maintained by PlayStation?
I don't know if I'm not too in tune with Sony and what they're doing.
Well, I don't think they are. Like, I mean, the top level is like, just moving around.
There
so
seems
much.
to be a big level of disconnect. Like I said before, I mean, like the celebrate like with legacy and whatnot. Like I think it's there, but it's not all quite there.
Yeah, I heard the question. Can you repeat it?
I asked earlier, like, how do you feel the legacy of PlayStation's being celebrated? But now I'm asking, how do you feel that legacy is being maintained by PlayStation, the company PlayStation? You know, I think inherently, because the name PlayStation has been 1, 2, 3, 4, I think that it's easier to hold on to that legacy a little bit in terms of that. I mean, the controller still has the very iconic buttons. It still has the same basic idea behind it. But, you know, those early games, like how...
That controller has not changed much either. Like, you can think about it, like, compared to, like, the original Duke from Xbox and then fucking Nintendo.
Yeah.
They surprise you every generation with what they're going to do.
No, it's been largely the same, and I think in those ways, I think in the hardware ways, the way that you play a game and interact with it, I think PlayStation does a good job of maintaining it. But the library, maybe not, right? Like, you had the ability to purchase PS1 games, PS3, and PSP and Vita, but one, what's a Vita, according to PlayStation, and two, like, all that stuff is trapped there. You know, even with PlayStation Now, I kind of, lauded it earlier. Is that the right word? But it, I did, but it's that only goes back to PS2, and it only goes back to PS2 in what they choose, like it's, I'm hoping that by this time next year that patent comes to fruition and we have a different conversation where I can go to Japan and buy, because that was the thing, I saw so many fucking games over there, but I was like, I'm not going to get it because I'm not going to be able to play it. You know what I mean? But like, I want a world where I can just, cool, let me grab this fucking weird game and bring it back and pop it into my PS5 and it plays and it's fine.
Dude, like PS2, I think, strongest out of that whole thing.
Yeah, it still is. Still to this day, I don't think we've had a better generation than that.
I mean, out of all of them, that's my favorite console. It's my favorite controller. It's, I don't know, just everything about it. Did
you ever have one that got the sticky R2 button?
I mean, all of them.
Assuming it worked perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I feel like any controller is going to have those wear and tear issues over time. I mean, I've been through my share of PS2 controllers.
I hacked
sure.
a couple PS3.
The other one, the PlayStation Classic, which came out last year, which kind of started some of these conversations maybe a year prematurely, but Obviously, that thing did not pan out.
No.
Some would say it would.
But you can do some stuff to that thing now. I mean, it is like very easy to make that thing a cool little device.
I know my computer doesn't have a physical escape key, but this is me hitting the escape key to really make that thing something.
That's true. Well, that was even... Yeah, that's the whatever, but you can quickly, very easily.
You know, I know that was like a thing we were like face palming at for a bit, but comparing to Google, I kind of respect it a little more. I know. Because at least it was playable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Google.
I got 2 more questions. This next one, try and do this one. And this is going to be tough, but try and answer this next question as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Gut reactions. Just boom, boom, boom. What are your top 3 PlayStation games?
Woof.
I know, it's hard. But if I ask you that question, what are the first games that come to your head?
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh. PlayStation 1 games.
Oh, PlayStation
Sorry.
1. All right. No. Oh, all right. Okay, that helps me out here a little bit. I'm blanking. Probably Blitz 2000. I remember playing a lot of Blitz back in the day.
Respect.
I'm just trying to think of like games I played a lot. Probably Tony Hawk, either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I never owned either game, funny enough, but I played the fuck out of those games.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the third one. Probably like SmackDown. Like WWF SmackDown.
There you
I
go.
played a fucking lot of, too.
Boom. Mark?
Final Fantasy 7, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, Mega Man X4.
Nice.
He actually said some good games, I said.
Yeah, my gut is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Crash 2, and Tony Hawk 2. I think we got to build a list. It's been a while since we've done.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, we got to do a list. One of our patented the free cheese favorite games of this console. I think it's time. Dude, we'll hit up a hot 25.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
25 years, 25
I
games.
get it. It's just ambitious.
We could do it. We could pull it off. Look forward to that on thefreecheese.com sometime. Last question about the PlayStation. How do you view its influence on video games? How impactful do you think PlayStation, the original PlayStation, has been on modern gaming? Or the history of gaming?
I mean, disc-based games went forward from there. I mean, even the GameCube, it wasn't a CD-ROM, but it was still a disc.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this is going forward, but like, it seems like Sony's always set the trend on what the next, like, disc-based format for a game is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Or like, they know when to take certain shots at something because
they know they can take certain shots, right? And people are going to follow
because like because it's not for Nintendo.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even been a thing.
Yeah. What about? I mean, we talked about the controller. I think that kind of influenced.
Yeah,
what
they
modern
all
controller,
roughly have that. Besides Nintendo surprising us every generation,
right? But even Nintendo has had to, adhere to that with stuff like the Pro Controller to make sure that it's still.
Even the Joy-Con still have the same basic.
Same idea, yeah.
I mean, granted that that pattern's been there since the SNES.
Yeah, the PlayStation's a modified version of that SNES controller.
Dude, like so many, like especially for the JRPG community.
Oh my god,
so many games spawning from that, and even ones we couldn't even have access to. Like you'd have to put like a mod chip into the PlayStation,
or a paperclip,
or a paperclip, like to even play half of those.
Yeah.
But
no, but that was that era of like when that stuff finally started to invade over here, which was great.
Like the Super Nintendo used to be the machine for like your RPGs, and like the PlayStation took that over and just ran with it.
Yeah, and more power. Remember, like Final Fantasy VII, it was supposed to go to the N64, and you couldn't run.
So I would, like a lot of influential games that just couldn't be done the same way today, or even whatever. Like a lot of roots.
Yeah,
PlayStation holds a lot of roots there.
I still keep going back to that library and finding new stuff. I mean, this year playing Parasite Eve for the first time. Never played it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is it's still a good game 20 years later.
Yeah, Die Hard trilogy, you know?
Top notch. Name a better one.
We named a bunch of them just a second ago.
Die Hard trilogy.
And I said WWF SmackDown.
Come on. Yeah, PlayStation, 25 years. If you've got some PlayStation stories, memories, what are your top 3 PlayStation games? Write into podcast@thefreecheese.com. Final word on PlayStation? Anything else you want to add?
Go ahead.
No, I was say I always like their little at the end of commercials, that little robot voice going PlayStation. I mean, they still do it.
Oh, I got 2 things now. Thank you for the Crash Bandicoot commercials. Never forget.
Yeah.
Fucking Crash yelling at the Nintendo building with a megaphone. That would be forever.
Coming for you, Plumber.
Also, making demo discs.
Oh my god.
thing.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, the
really cool.
underground demo.
Yeah, man.
I think I've said it time and time again on here, but Giant Bomb Demo Derby is
Top
that is
notch.
a fucking thing. See an old
Pizza Hut demo discs.
I forget his name every time I go to
Dan
bring him
Reichert.
up. Huh?
Dan Reichert?
No. A PlayStation guy who came out and talked about the PS4 Pro.
Mark
Yep.
Cerny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Cerny working on Crash Bandicoot back in the day. It's
Yeah,
fucking
man.
wild.
Just say sad Jim Carrey. We'll get it.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the first time I learned the multi-tap existed was kind of wild.
that blew my mind.
And I was like, because that was always one, everyone was like, oh, N64 is 4 players. Like, yeah.
It wasn't new to me because Super Nintendo had one,
Oh,
but still cool.
yeah.
But yeah, when I found out the day, I was like, oh, you can buy this thing, make it 4 players?
Yeah.
Technically 5.
I think that was when my brother and I, for PS1, got a racing wheel, too, at some point, to play Gran Turismo and
Those
Need for
years.
Speed. Fucking so much fun. It had the, like, leg things.
Gran Turismo, who wants to play that old shit?
God, now he runs the company, you know? What are we going to do?
Oh, and Cat's Her Eye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Eternally. Yeah, long live PlayStation. A lot of good celebration. I'm kind of like, I was happy to see the celebration, but I also felt real sad about the Saturn. Like, I saw a lot more buzz around PlayStation, which I guess makes
I
sense.
mean, think of
but
how many people had a Saturn
I know it just.
I mean, yeah, you're comparing Sony to Sega right now.
I know, but after
in that era.
after
too.
spending time with the Saturn in the last couple weeks, I was like, oh, this is, you know.
Yeah, Knights. Yeah. One.
Still, I don't know.
Like I said, I just said WWF SmackDown.
Yeah, it's true.
Where's that at? Saturn.
I wonder if they did have one. Anyway, PlayStation and podcast. That's the end of this podcast. If you like this episode, you can find it and the rest of our episodes and all the other stuff we do, including the upcoming best favorite 25 games of the PlayStation and the Free Cheese Game of the Year coverage coming here in a couple of weeks for you. Go to thefreecheese.com. You can be part of the show by emailing us podcast@thefreecheese.com. Ask us anything.
Ask us anything.
At all. You can answer some of our questions if you'd like. Whatever, man. You want to join us? Join us. Follow us all on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at @SomeFreeCheese. Mark is at @og_mental. Matt is at MattyX131. I am at The Free Cheese. You guys got any big gaming plans for the week?
I don't even know where to start.
I know.
Halo Reach.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that.
It's time.
I'm immediately now like, I'm so fucking pulled in every direction. This podcast has fucked me up. Where I'm like, before the podcast, I was like, I just want to go play Demon's Tilt. During the podcast, I'm like, I just want to go play Halo Reach. Now I'm like, I just want to go play my PlayStation. Like, I just want to fire it up. I've got Tony Hawk 2 in that console right now. I kind of want to
Dude, get out of your system, man. Ride it out.
ride it out.
Tony Hawk's Ride. Yeah. All that technology and that board, man.
Yeah. Oh,
I have one in my house. I found one.
bring it.
My brother just has all these like weird Xbox accessories, and I saw
Bring
the
it.
board in there. Like, oh,
Find that disc.
I'm not sure if we have the game, but I'll look for it.
We'll get a.
I'm on it.
There you go. Great.
I'm sure it's a cent somewhere.
Yeah. That is it. Thanks for hanging out and listening. Thank you,
said
Mark.
360, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener, for listening. We'll see you next week with Tony Hawk's Ride.